Well, everybody, we're back again. She decided that she wanted to hear chapter 26 today. You're so goofy.
But you're so goofy.
Well, of course I'm goofy. You come by it honestly. All right, so we're looking at A Child's History of the World, chapter 26, 1 against 1,000. Oh dear, what is going to occur now? This is. All right, ooh, that's nice. There's a little narrow passageway with the mountains on one side and the water on the other, which the Persians had to go to reach Athens. This pass is called the Pass of Thermopylae.
Percy!
It's okay. He's just trying to get his bone. And you might guess what Thermopylae means if you notice that the first part is like the thermos bottle, which means hot. As a matter of fact, Thermopylae meant hot gateway. Here, come sit over like you were. There we go. Okay, hot gateway. Interesting. And was so named because this natural gateway to Greece had hot springs nearby. I'd have been like, we're not even doing war. We're going to go sit in the hot springs for a while.
Mom, I'm going skiing, so I'm going to get to go
sit in the hot springs. You're right. The Greeks decided that it was best to stop the Persians at this gate, to go to meet them there first before they reached Athens. In such a place, a few Greek soldiers could fight better against a large number. So who do you think they sent? What do you think, Lily? What group of Greeks do you think they sent?
Percy!
No, not Percy.
But Percy's just being weird stuff.
Yes, but what group, do you remember what group they are really good warriors? Starts with an S. Sparta. Stop doing it. The Spartans. All right, so... The Spartan king, who was named Leonidas, which in Greek means like a lion, was chosen to go to Thermopylae, and with him 7,000 soldiers.
Wow!
7,000 soldiers to block the way against 2 million. 2 million. 2 was 6 zeros on the end of it. Again,
Dude.
Yeah, legit. All right.
Well, Mom, the
but
leader is doing this.
But listen, 300 of these were Spartan.
Wait, what?
And a Spartan was taught that he must never surrender, never give up. A Spartan mother used to say to her son, come back with your shield or on it. So, come back with your shield being victorious, or come back on your shield dead. Yeah. And so for those of you who like movies, this is actually where they came up with the movie The 300. And I mean, it's okay. I don't know as though they depicted the characters right. What?
And Superbook.
I don't remember Superbook talking about this.
What do you mean?
I need you to be quiet so I can keep reading. When Xerxes found his way blocked by this ridiculously small band of soldiers, he sent his messengers ordering them to surrender, to give up. What do you suppose Leonidas replied? It was what we should expect a Spartan to answer, brief and to the point. That is, laconic. So he simply replied, come and take us. How do you think that went over, Lily? Do you think that probably upset King Xerxes?
I was like,
I'm betting. As there was nothing left for Xerxes to do but fight, he started his army forwards. Okay, that's enough. For 2 days, the Persians fought the Greeks. Percy, don't, buddy. But Leonidas still held the pass. He still held the pass at Thermopylae, and the Persians were unable to get through. But, big giant but here, then a Greek traitor and coward who thought he might save his own life and be given a rich prize by Xerxes, told that king of a secret path over the mountains by which he and his army might slip through.
Mom, I'm trying to fix your hair.
Yes, but I'm also trying to read. So, we have a Greek trader who let Xerxes know that there was a secret path around the mountains by which he and his army might slip through and get around Leonidas and his soldiers who blocked the way. So the next morning, Leonidas learned that the Persians had found the secret path and were already on the way to pin him in from behind. There was still a chance, however, for his men to escape, and Leonidas told all those who wanted to do so to leave. Those who remained knew that the fight was absolutely hopeless and that it meant certain death for all of them. In spite of this, however, 1,000 men, including all the 300 Spartans, stood by their leader, for they said, "We have been ordered to hold the pass," and a Spartan obeys orders and never surrenders, no matter what. There, Leonidas and his men fought to the bitter end until all except one of their number was killed.
Hey, Mom, look. I got the thing that was like up more down.
Okay, sweetie.
By getting it.
Okay, quiet down. The gateway to the city of Athens was now opened, and things looked very bleak for the Greeks, for there was nothing to prevent the Persians from marching over the dead bodies of Leonidas and his men straight on to Athens. Okay, can you move your booty, please? Okay, move over and sit next to me.
What time is it?
I have no idea.
Let me go check.
How about you sit and listen to Mom read? Excuse you. Obedience, please come sit down. Thank you. 10:34. The Athenians, wondering what was to happen to them, hurriedly went to the Oracle of Delphi. Remember the Oracle of Delphi, who was getting high off the fumes of the volcano, and asked what they should do. The oracle replied that the city of Athens itself was doomed, that it would be destroyed, that there was no hope for it, but that the Athenians themselves would be saved by wooden walls. Sit. This answer, as was usually the case in whatever the oracle said, was a riddle, the meaning of which, seemed hard to solve. Themistocles, however, said that he knew the answer. What do you think? A wall of wood. What did Themistocles want to do before? Didn't he want to build a fleet of ships? Do ships have wooden walls? Yes, they do. You remember that it was he who had been working so hard to have a fleet of ships built. Themistocles said that the oracle meant that these ships, when it spoke of the wooden walls. The Athenians, following the supposed advice of the oracle, left their city as Themistocles told them and went on board the ships, which were not far away in a bay called Salamis. The Persian army reached Athens and found it deserted. They burned and destroyed the city as the oracle had said. Then they marched on to the Bay of Salamis, where the Athenians were on board the ships. There, on a hill overlooking the bay, Xerxes had a throne built for himself, so that he could sit as if a box in a theater, like one of the big theater boxes, looking at a play, and watch his own large fleet destroy the much smaller one of the Greeks with all the Athenians on board. The Greek fleet was commanded, of course, by Themistocles. His ships were in this narrow bay, or strait of water, somewhat in the same way the soldiers of Leonidas had been in the narrow valley of Thermopylae. So they're blocking this very small entrance to the Strait of Salamis. Themistocles, seeing that the Bay of Salamis looked somewhat like the pass of Thermopylae, had an idea. He made believe he was a traitor, like the traitor of Thermopylae, and sent word to Xerxes that if the Persian fleet divided and one half stay at one end of the strait and the other half close off the other end of the strait, the Greeks would be penned in between and caught as in a trap. But let's see what happens. I don't think that was I think that was a good move on Themistocles. Xerxes thought this a good idea, so he gave orders to have his ships do as Themistocles had suggested. But Xerxes, sitting smiling on his throne, had the surprise of his life. The result was just the opposite of what he had expected. With the Persian fleet separated into two parts, the Greeks in between could fight both halves of the divided fleet separately, and the space was so narrow that the Persian ships got in way of each other and rammed and sank their own boats. The Persian fleet was completely beaten, and the proud and boastful Xerxes, with most of his army and all the navy that was left, made a hasty retreat back to Persia the way they had come. This was the last time the Persians ever tried to conquer little Greece. If Themistocles had not had his way and built such a strong fleet, what do you think would have become of Athens and Greece? Well, it seems as though if Aristides had had his way, that the Athenians would probably all be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Same with a lot of the Greeks. So, it's better to be armed and ready, I guess. Well, not I guess. It always is. Hope you guys have a lovely weekend. And, yep, we'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.